what if someone told you, that you've never actually walked or rested or even really thought of single thought, but that you've only ever watched it happen?
It sounds like a riddle, doesn't it?
It really does. But it's actually a profound concept from Grandmaster WaXhira of the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, is one of the sources you shared. And today we're doing a deep dive into this really fascinating idea that maybe we're primarily observers, not the doers we think we are, and what that actually means for you.
Yeah, our goal here really is to unpack this. It seems simple on the surface, but it's got these world-shifting implications. We want to explore the ancient wisdom that kind of backs this up.
Right.
And guide you through what it might mean for finding maybe more peace and freedom in your life, less burden.
Okay, so let's unpack this core metaphor that Grandmaster WaXhira uses. It's about a baby being carried on its mother's back.
Okay.
So picture this. The mother's walking along, right? And maybe the baby gets a call. Someone asks, hey, what are you doing? And the baby just says, very confidently, I'm walking.
Right, because that's its experience.
Exactly. Then later, the mother stops, sits down to rest. Phone rings again, same question.
Yeah.
And the baby says, oh, I'm resting now. But of course, the baby isn't doing the walking or the resting. The mother is. The baby just thinks it's the one in charge of the action.
Yeah, and what's so striking there is how closely that mirrors our own everyday experience, doesn't it?
Totally.
We say it all the time, I am breathing, I am thinking, I am living my life. But according to this teaching, it's more like life is happening through us.
Not by us.
Exactly, not by us. The big illusion, the teaching it suggests, is that we are the doers of action, the ones pulling all the strings.
That metaphor, it really paints a clear picture. But okay, let's bring it back to us. If we're like the baby in this story, then who's the mother? Who's actually doing the carrying in our lives?
Well, in the teachings we're looking at from the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, the mother represents Earth, or you could say the eternal life force, that huge intelligent energy that's behind everything. And the baby, that's the mind-bound self, our limited idea of me, the ego that likes to take credit.
All right.
And the core teaching is really direct. You are not this baby. You aren't just your mind. You are the awareness, the consciousness that observes it all happening.
When I stop and think about that, I notice things like, well, my own breath, it just happens, rises and falls. My heart beats. I'm not telling it to. Digestion, I mean, that's incredibly complex, and it just runs itself.
Right. Even when you're asleep.
Exactly. Even when I'm completely unaware. So it really makes you wonder, am I really doing those things?
Precisely. And if we're not the primary doer, then who is?
Yeah.
The source gives an answer. Life is, God is, the cosmic intelligence is, which leaves you with a really important question to sit with.
Yeah.
Where does action really come from in your own experience?
Now, what's really compelling, I think, is that this idea, it's not new, is it? This isn't some like 21st century invention.
Oh, absolutely not. That's what makes it so powerful. You see echoes of this across centuries, across cultures.
Like where?
Well, think about the ancient Upanishads from India. They state it pretty clearly. You are not the doer. You are the witness, pure and eternal.
Wow.
And then you have the Bhagavad Gita, another cornerstone text, which says something very similar. The wise see that actions are performed by nature, while the self remains the silent observer.
So nature, or this life force, does the action. The self just watches.
That's the idea. And seeing this same thread pop up in completely different spiritual traditions, it really suggests there's a universal truth being pointed to here.
Okay, but here's a potential sticking point. If we start to really believe we're just observers, doesn't that risk making us passive? Like, why bother doing anything if it's not really me doing it? Could we just become disengaged?
That's a really common question and a very important one.
Yeah.
Grandmaster WaXhira is quite clear on this. This relation isn't meant to lead to passivity at all. It's meant to make us free.
Free? How so?
Free from the illusion of being the soul doer and free from the immense burden that comes with that illusion. The constant effort, the worry, the feeling that you have to control everything.
Okay, so it's not about stopping action, but stopping the feeling of having to force it all.
Exactly. The moment you grasp this, truly grasp it, not just intellectually, but feel it, a deep sense of peace starts to emerge. That illusion of personal control, it just dissolves. You kind of come home to the truth of how things actually are.
Coming home.
Yeah. And think about those powerful analogies the teaching uses. You've always been the sky, not the weather constantly changing within it.
I like that.
Or you are the watcher on the shore, not the wave crashing and receding. It helps you distinguish, between your own conscious choices and intentions and the deeper flow of life itself.
Right.
You let go of that mental friction, that need to micromanage reality. And from that space, you can act with more clarity, more humility, even grace.
So it allows you to surrender the burdens, the ones we think we have to carry.
Precisely. You surrender those self-imposed burdens to the life force that's already carrying you anyway. Like the baby realizing the mother is doing the walking. Suddenly you become, well, the teaching says you become light.
Light. That's a powerful word for it. So wrapping this up then, it's this huge shift in perspective, really, from seeing yourself as this isolated doer carrying the weight of the world to realizing you're more like the spacious observer watching life unfold, carried along by something much bigger. Maybe just consider for a moment, how might that shift change your daily experience? Could it actually reduce that feeling of carrying so much?
And perhaps leave you with this thought to mull over. If you truly are the awareness observing life, not just the character caught up in the drama, what new possibilities might open up for you when you stop frantically trying to control every single wave and instead learn to just rest in the vastness of the sky?